the radio, building dreams and achieving more, telling it just like it is. Most of all, keeping it real. Are you ready for real talk? Changing lives and communities. Real talk. Saving all our families. Real talk. Bringing hope for you and me. Real talk. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio.
Well, hello, and welcome to the Real Talk with Judy live radio show. I am your radio host, Dr. Judy Mandrell, and it is such an honor to have you here today. And I would come in, and today is going to be a great day. Today is going to be a really, really, really great day for you. It's going to be a really great day for me. And to all of the hosts, the listening audience, you're going to truly be blessed on today. And I'm excited to have you. I'm excited to have this opportunity to inspire, to motivate you, and to give you hope, or to help your hope increase a little. And you see my guest, I'm going to introduce her in just a few moments, but I am really, really, really excited to have you today. So y'all know how I do it. If you would, go ahead and contact somebody, get them on. If you're on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, go ahead and share. Go ahead and share. Get others on here to listen, share, and invite them to come. I know today is going to bless everybody who's tuned in. I know that. And you may have some people who are ready just to move from that place of stuck. I'm going to make up my own word. That place of stuckness. And to go from that place to another. So we come today in preparation of making an indelible impression upon your heart to help you go to another level. But you understand, those of you who've always been on, those of you who come on, those of you who listen, there's three things I have to do. And that is, number one, tell my mama hello. And so, hello, mama. Y'all go ahead and do all that other stuff. Well, I tell my mama hello. She is really enjoying life with my sister Tanya and my niece Kiara. They are really enjoying these days with my mother. And I just want to say, mama, hello. And you know what? I am so glad she's still alive. I still get to talk to her. And sometimes just to see her on what do we be on, Zoom or Facebook or WhatsApp. Is so encouraging to my spirit. So encouraging. There's some days I don't share with her because I don't want to stress out, because that stress will take you out of here. Yeah. And I'm not going to take out of here with no stress. Right. So, but I am so glad that my mom is still alive with wisdom and understanding and advice and just the right words to say. I'm so glad. Today, 12 years ago, April the 29th, 12 years ago, my father passed. My father passed 12 years ago on April 29th. And I miss that dude so much. Boy, I miss that dude. But before he died, that Christmas before he died, we talked for, oh my God, maybe about 3 hours. And he just poured into me, and he poured and he poured and he poured. And he just told me everything God had told him except three things. He said there's three things he couldn't share with me. Because they would crush me. And one of my things came to pass. But my dad was cool. My dad was the coolest dude ever. So today we celebrate his life every day. All of my siblings, we are his legacy. But our mom is still here, and we absolutely love her like crazy. So Mama Wesley, Mama, we love you so, so very much. And I want to say thank you. Thank you, Tanya and Kiara, for keeping her alive with the Lord. And to my amazing husband, I want to say thank you for just being absolutely a phenomenal husband. I thank God for you every single day. A real pure man. I thank God so very much. for you. Then, of course, to Priscilla, I want to tell Priscilla, thank you, Priscilla. I want to thank God so very much for her as well. She is my production manager. She make all, the stream yard, the flyers, the recordings, the videos, everything. Make it happen. And I want to say thank you, Priscilla. Thank you so very much. And last but certainly not least, to you, the audience, who keep showing up every time I'm on. I want to say thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you for finding it show helpful to you. So many of you have I met in the streets, and you all are giving me your name because I'm always asking your name. I can't remember it all. I remember your faces like I can see them now, and I want to say thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. You help me keep coming back. Today I'm excited because many of you may know her. I just met her maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago, and we were talking, and we were at Kimmy Johnson book signing.
Yes.
And we were talking, and she began to share her story with me. She took me downstairs. We were at
Midtown Reader.
Midtown Reader. She took me down the steps to the to purchase Kimmy's book. Then we rode back on the elevator. But in that time, I can feel a spirit of help, hope, one who wanted to see people survive. And this young lady began to tell me in a short time what she had gone through, what she had survived, and then how what she went through had her to write books and different things. Well, today we're going to dive into some of that. I brought her on because I felt her story. Hey, Kimmy. It's Kimmy.
Hey, Kimmy.
I felt Kimmy's a hero to all of us. Right?
Hey, Kimmy. We love Kimmy.
So her story and her life experiences are inspiring and hopeful. And so today I brought her on so she could share some practical, strategic steps to help navigate those who may have gone through that happen.
Yes.
We can't deny that it happened. It happened.
Mm-hmm.
Dot. Y'all see my dots? And then, but now on to greater and better things. It happened. We can't minimize that.
Right.
We can't ignore that. So there's a couple of things I want her to share what happened in her life, and then and I asked her to make sure that I was not just hitting something. That's a very sensitive area.
It is. It's a sensitive subject for a lot of people. It was sensitive for me when I first started talking about it. But the more you talk, the more you speak your truth, the more people get free.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And so y'all, she just jumped right on in, right? That's how she jumped in the elevator. Threw me down there. But I greatly appreciate it. Y'all, I want to introduce to some and present to others. International best-selling author, keynote public speaker, a mental health advocate, and a workshop facilitator. Ladies and gentlemen, my special guest today, Ms. Driana Latoya Holland.
Hey, how you doing, Judy?
How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on today. I appreciate it.
I was looking forward. I am looking forward to what you. I'm glad. Number one, I'm glad your schedule is available. But I am looking forward to you really imparting some life and some hope into some people. Because sometimes, well, before we get into that, tell the people, Kimmy almost introducing you, but to say you are serious about inspiring others and saving people's lives.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about, without going into your story, just give us a little bit about.
Well, I'm Gaston County born, bred, so I'm from Gaston County.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I grew up in Gaston County. I went to school in Gaston County. I am married. Been married for 18 years this year with my husband, 23 years since high school. Hi, Shedrick, if you're listening. Wow. And we have 3 kids. One is in college and the other 2 are in high school and middle school. And my regular background is in IT. So I'm an IT professional by nature. I love analytical work. but God has brought me on a different journey, which is so amazing and so fulfilling and I'm very passionate about.
Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. When I met you, I can feel that passion.
Yeah.
I can see that passion. I mean, you were so excited. And when we went downstairs to get the book, immediately Kimmy, she asked the lady, how and she didn't say we, she said, how can she get your book? And I knew then if I could get my book, she was gonna get her book. She like, what do we need to do? But it was like immediately she wanted to lift me.
Yes.
I mean, immediately.
I remember that. I was like, how can we? You want your book in too? Okay, how can we get our books in here?
Yeah.
I mean,
that really touched me because not really knowing me, I don't know if you heard of me, but not really knowing me, you immediately want to push me. Talk about that for a moment.
So I know you a little bit from when I was younger because Bishop Washington, I went to his church.
Okay.
And so we used to come, you guys used to exchange and come church and preach and stuff. So I've heard you preach and you're awesome. And I heard you and seen you in the community, but we've never officially met. And we never had a conversation. But it doesn't matter who's in the room with me. If I'm getting it, everybody can get it. Like we all should win together because no matter what, we are here to push each other to be better. That's just it. Like I love helping people no matter who they are.
I know because that was, I mean, that's what I do. You don't find too many people do that.
Yeah, you're right now.
You don't find too many people do that.
Kind of rare these days.
and immediately, and that stuck with me. And on your name in my phone, I put on there the beautiful black girl who wanted to push me and didn't know me.
Oh, wow. That is so nice to hear.
Because that is amazing. And I think if we do more of that, we can help each other more.
Yeah, I agree. I think what happens is in society, we are pushed to like go against each other, like to compete. And we don't have to compete when we can be complete together. So sometimes when you see other people, we could be in the same area, the same industry, it doesn't matter, but you're not me, I'm not you, and we both bring uniqueness to whatever we're going to get ready to do. So if, just say we both was in mental health industry, just your story is going to be different from mine, but I can still learn from you like you can learn from me, and we can push each other to be great no matter what happens. So yeah.
Drew, you're going to end up being a real good friend of mine because your philosophy in life, I mean, I love that. And if we can really do that as people, as women, I believe that we could be so much better. You know, our communities can be better. And we don't allow others to tear us down. And so we can ever understand that.
Yes.
And we could ever and stop saying she trying to show off or she trying. No, if the girl got it going on,
she got it going on. Yes.
Get with the girl. Yeah. Get with the girl because she got it going on.
Then she gonna help you get it going on. And then you can clap for her because it doesn't mean you can't clap for yourself.
Come on.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, Dree, is that what they call it?
Yes, that's what they call it.
I just said Dree. I love the spelling of your name. Dreunna. Dreanna.
Yes, that's my mom. Shout out to Stephanie.
Your mom name is Stephanie?
Yes, Stephanie Washington.
Oh, well, what?
You know my mom, right? You know Beatrice Washington?
Yeah.
My grandma, yeah. She just passed last year, but yeah, that's my mom's mom. Yeah.
Oh, so your mom's name is Stephanie, but y'all call her Dreanna?
No, my mom's Stephanie, and she named me Dreanna.
So
shout out to her.
Okay, I thought you were saying, I was like, well, why you call her Stephanie? But she from Gaston County, so
yeah, you never know, right?
But what I want to ask you now, Dree, life has a way of blindsiding people.
Yeah.
Life has a way of coming at you suddenly, unexpectedly, and that's equating to unexpected and negative situation. Life has a way of knocking breath out you that you didn't know was coming.
Yeah.
What to speak to that to us?
Okay, so you want me to go into
what to that? Well, you can.
Yeah. So, like, for me, if you know me, most people who know me, you're going to see my smile. I haven't really changed since high school. So I'm always smiling. I've always been an encourager or somebody who inspires others. But I never really made sure I took care of me too. And that's what happens with a lot of women per se. Most people do it, but women do it a lot. You always taking care of everybody. You always there for everybody. You giving everything to everybody, but nothing to yourself. So what happened was I grew up, I'm always like, hey, I'm good. Everybody asks, are you okay? And I'm like, yes, I'm okay. I'm doing fine. And really, I wasn't. What happened was I was everything to everyone else, but not strong enough for myself. So I was a strong friend. You can call me. I could pray for you because I knew about prayer. So you can call me. I could pray for you. You can call me and I show up for you. But who was showing up for me? And then I was too embarrassed to ask somebody to show up for me.
Okay.
Because everybody assumed I was okay.
Okay.
Because I'm the strong person. I'm always smiling. She's always encouraging. So I tried to commit suicide 4 times in my life completely. The whole entire life. 4 times. 4 times. But the last 2 times is really what really changed the trajectory of my life. So 4 years ago, I tried twice. One time in January. It was right after my husband's brother died from COVID. And I was just getting out of ICU. And I have been sick for so many years. Like once a year, like every year, my doctor's bill will be like $1 million. Thank God for TRICARE. Shout out to the military. But it was so expensive because I was always sick. I couldn't walk. I had to go to rehab to learn how to walk again. It was like 18 days in the rehab. Like my muscles, my body would just not do what it needed to do. And what really happened, I had 14 seizures in one day. 14 seizures in one day in 2022. 14 seizures. And what really happened with all of that was the fact that I did not make sure I checked on me. A lot of things in the society tells us, oh, it's selfish when you think about you.
Yes.
It's selfish when you try to take care of you and you don't take care of the people. Even growing up in the church, we've been taught to serve others. But you also got to serve yourself.
Exactly.
Because if you don't serve yourself, you're going to wreck yourself.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So, and that's what really happened, because what we don't realize is our body tells us when we need to sit down and relax. We need to sit down and rest. Even Jesus rested. Like if you ever want to go, when I'm talking to people who are Christ followers, Jesus took time away from the people because the people was doing too much.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And so sometimes you have to step away from the noise to refuel and rejuvenate yourself. And I wasn't good at that. And so because I wasn't good at that, I decided that life was no longer worth living for me. And it didn't matter if I had 3 kids, a husband. I was an author by then. So it wasn't like I wasn't even successful. It was just life was too much. People were too much. I was literally tired of helping everybody else. And I felt like no one was helping me. And not because, oh, I said I need help and they didn't help. It's because I didn't even have the ability or the mental capacity to say, I need help. Can you help me?
Will you talk for that? I want to break your story for just a moment. Will you talk to how important it is? Because sometimes people get upset because people aren't reaching out.
Right.
But if you don't ask for help, sometimes because you keep smiling, because you keep going, because I can handle this.
Right.
And then you get in the shower and you take an hour shower because you're in there crying, trying to release before you come back to everyone else. Would you talk to how important it is to reach out for help? I had someone to tell me one time, Sister Judy, they said, well, Pastor Judy, you're a prophet, and you see this and you see that. Why couldn't you see that I needed help? Why didn't you ask?
Exactly. Because
why didn't you ask?
You should definitely ask. When you do not ask for help, you are limiting God's power to operate in your life.
Come on.
Because in the word, it also say, ask and you shall receive. So if we even are Christ believers, we believe that Christ is who he say he is, then we also have to believe in his word that tells us what we need to do in order to have a purposeful life.
Yes.
And so for me, when you don't ask, that's the enemy's way of winning. He wins.
Yes.
He's playing with your mind.
Yes.
He plays with your mind. Oh, if you ask for help, they're going to think you crazy.
Yes.
If you ask for help, they're going to think you're not strong. But today, I am not strong. Today, I am not okay. And that is okay, because I can say I'm not okay and call somebody and say, hey, can you pray for me? Hey, can you come over and let's watch a movie because I just need a little uplifting? Because there's power in saying something.
Yes, yes. And tell them what you like.
Yes, be honest.
Tell them, can you come over here and sit? I don't want you to say anything.
Right.
I just want your presence. and I'm not gonna play anything. I want you to sit.
Yeah.
Can we go sit at? Can we just go sit? Can we go sit at Dairy Queen? You won't have to talk about that.
No, we can eat some ice cream.
Just have some ice cream.
Yeah. And look at each other.
Let's go.
And that's all. Whatever you need to feel refueled again, you need to ask for it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you will ask and you won't receive. And that's okay too.
Come on.
Because probably in that, no, it's not probably. Actually, in that instance, that's probably not who God wanted to come help you in the first place. Sometimes we're asking the wrong people for help when we should be asking the right people for help. And sometimes that gets blurred because we think people are our friends, or we think people are there for us or stuff like that. And sometimes they're just hidden. They have hidden agendas, which the enemy has a hidden agenda to break you down so you won't be purposeful in your life. So your destiny is already set. You just got to find the path and the journey that God told you to go on.
So how did you recover from, I think you said it was the last 2 times
that
really opened it?
It did, yes.
Okay.
The last 2 times, because it was just, I was like, you know what? This ain't life and this isn't me. Something's not right. So it clicked, because at the end of the day, you have to make up in your mind that you want to do better. You have to make up in your mind because it's there. People feel like, oh, I can't get out of this. I can't, come from this. You can't. It's a mindset thing. That's why I teach on mental health, because mental health really is spiritual health. If you don't know who you are, who God tells you you are, then the enemy will trick you into thinking you're something different. And so for me, coming out of that, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to therapy. That's what people say work. Let me try that. I was trying Jesus again, because I tried him a few times and, backslid, fell over. And then he said, come on back again, girl.
Girl, talk about it.
And so I did therapy twice a week for 2 years. Found a great therapist. It took me like 5 or 6 therapists to go through, because you're never going to find the right therapist on the first time. But you can't give up on yourself. How dare you be there for everybody else, but you can't be there for yourself?
Yeah, that's why I wrote the book. Show up for you.
Yes.
That's why I wrote that book. Show up for you.
You better show up for you.
You're showing up for everybody else. You're giving everything, but make sure you show up for you.
Yes.
There's a stage, and I still serve everybody else.
Yeah.
But I also serve Judy Mandrell.
You better.
I'm going to serve. I don't slack on what I do at my church or anywhere in the community, but I serve Judy Mandrell.
If you don't, then you'll be pouring from a contaminated cup. So I tell people, you can't want to go and pour into other people and you're dirty yourself. Get clean. Get clean. Clean yourself up real good. Let God renew your spirit, because you don't want to pour out something that's very contaminated into somebody else, and then they're going on about their life with whatever the dirt that you gave them too. And that's not fair to them either.
Yeah.
So you're really harming you and them. And how beneficial is that?
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just, and my faith in God is really what got me to definitely where I am, because of course he gives us the tools and resources to make sure we get on the right path, but we also got to understand that he's the all be all. He's everything.
Yes.
And if he's everything and he's everything that to you, then he's going to make sure he takes care of you. So you got to trust that process.
Got to trust that process. Everyone I've had on have always mentioned how important their faith and relationship with God is. And I hold that to be true. That is my number one. I am not going to slack. I was telling someone the other day, I am not slacking on that relationship with God at all. Reading and praying. I was praying and talking to someone the other day, and just some real heavy stuff on my mind. I mean, real heavy. But I needed to talk. I needed, and my husband, I can talk to my husband about anything. I didn't want to get him agitated. My sisters already, they were on AR, what is it, AR-47?
AK-47.
Yeah. They were there.
They were ready, yeah.
They were on AK-47 blowing up. So I met and I talked, but I felt like if I didn't talk, if I didn't get this out and really talk, I was going to explode. I mean, literally, I was just going to explode. Because I hadn't been at that place. I don't think in my life, to feel betrayed and used and all of that to the 99 power.
Yeah.
And but talking and getting that out, then the Holy Spirit spoke. The Lord gave me a dream, but it was like he sent people to sit on the side of my bed to talk to me. And my husband, I told him, you woke me up.
Right, it was getting good, right?
No, he said he didn't.
Oh, okay.
But he woke me up to tell me to talk to someone who was calling me. But we was all asleep.
Okay.
But when I woke up, what I had dreamt was I had written it in my phone. I don't remember writing anything in my phone.
Right.
I mean, the whole dream. Then the Lord gave to me, the Holy Spirit told me, meet the Lord at this time. Every morning for the next 21 days.
Yeah.
So just meet him. And I was telling the Lord, I said, thank you for loving me so much. Because at that time in the morning, nobody's going to call me unless it's a real emergency. Not that time in the morning,
right.
He gave me to meet.
Yeah.
But just to know that even in our time of dealing with the emotions of being blindsided, God knows. And if we listen, he'll take us. And sometimes, y'all hear me now, because a long time growing up, they said that therapy, you can go to a therapist.
Oh, no, they called you crazy. If
you was crazy if you went to a therapist. But honey, find you a good therapist. And as Dree said, you're not going to find the first person. It won't be number one. It'll be several.
Yeah. Until you get to the point where you feel comfortable. But even while you're trying to find a therapist, if you get in your word good, because what I learned is
getting your word good, she said.
Yes, good, because I'm getting in good now. This year I'm getting better. You know, the years before I was like skimming through, hey. But what I realized is the word is so powerful for your mental health.
Yes.
Because when the enemy comes at you, because it's all a mind game. It's a game for him. If he can affect your mind, he'll affect your decisions. He'll affect your actions. So when you just talked about like a deep betrayal and stuff like that, what happens is, it's so funny that you say that because it happens all the time.
Y'all come on, we're going to counseling. Let's go, Drew.
What happens is you're going to get betrayed in life. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get used. That's because we're in this world, but not of this world, right? So the enemy, that's his game plan for you. So you already might as well just buckle up and get ready. But the most magnificent thing about that is you already have the victory. The victory's already been won. So when you study in your word and you realize that the victory's already won, he says he's given us power to trample, right, over serpents and all of those different things. So you have the power over the enemy. So in order for you to have the power, you got to understand the words, because your words are powerful. So what you say out your mouth is what will happen, because we live in a physical world, but it's really spiritual if we really think about it. So what I say is, when people come up against you and try to make your emotions come out, like anger and bitterness and stuff like that, think of it, if we're Christ following, think of it as that's the spirit coming up against you. I heard somebody say altar versus altar, light versus dark. So if somebody is doing something to you, it must be something in you that the enemy don't want you to actually realize that's great about you, that God's getting ready to expose and elevate you in. So he want to bring you down. He want to get you distracted.
Yeah.
He wants you to get you off focus. Why? Because at the end of the day, you're too powerful and he don't want you to succeed. So when we start thinking about that, and when people come with these different situations and challenges we have, I'll give you an example. This was the biggest challenge of my life. We hosted a mental health awareness cheer and dance conference, first ever in the U.S. to do it. Third year we did it this year. And God gave me that vision. That's like my baby. Shout out to Dynamic Explosion Cheer for hosting it. But that week, that Sunday, I got put in the hospital. Had to stay overnight. All of a sudden, my hip on the left started hurting. I couldn't walk. And I was like, okay, God, what's going on? Maybe I need some rest because I've been running. I'm going to just take this as that. Then my son goes missing on his birthday. I wake up 4 o'clock in the morning. He's not there. He doesn't have his phone. He doesn't have his hoodies because we took him. And it was some stuff going on in our household, not necessarily with us, but me trying to discipline him, but not knowing the real issues and things that he was dealing with. My son was gone for 3 days. 3 days. I didn't hear from him. Didn't know where he was at. Nobody knew where he was at. The police was involved. But see, I had a mission. I didn't have a mission that God told me to accomplish. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try you, God. I'm going to stand on your word. I'm not going to worry about that. God, thank you for bringing my son home safe and unharmed. Devil, do whatever you're trying to do, but it ain't going to work here in this household. Because the God I say I serve, he got to show up. Because that's what his word says. He said he's not a man that he shall lie. So God, you can't lie. You said you'll protect me as long as, if you're going to be about my business, as long as I'm about yours. So take care of me. So I still every day going forward. People calling me, friends calling me, hey, you okay? You heard from me? No. What you gonna do? I'm gonna go get a massage and eat some tacos. And they was like, what? Because I recognize the enemy. You gotta recognize before, like God gives us the vision. We can see ahead. There's nothing the enemy can do that we are not already powerful enough to overcome. So I said, you know what? The day he went missing, I put myself a massage because that's something I like, and I needed to get a little stuff carried in because I felt myself tensing up. And I ate some tacos. I like some good tacos. That was my favorite meal. And I sat in the bed and ate that. And did I have a little worry? Absolutely. That's human. But I had 90% of faith and maybe 10% of worry. And for me, that was real big because before I have 85% worry and 15% faith. And so Saturday comes, and I have to basically minister to 418 kids. That's my mission. Telling them that they matter, they're loved, they're enough. While my kid is missing, I'm telling these people, children that are present in front of me, how amazing they are. But I couldn't even tell my own kid that, and I miss telling him happy birthday because he loved. But in the midst of that, the enemy tried to trick me again because the Spirit said, hey, testify and tell them about what's going on with you and let people understand that, hey, you showing up despite what's going on in your life. And I did that. And while I was testifying in that moment saying, I'm here to serve y'all because God gave me this mission to serve y'all. But at this moment, I have no clue where my son is. But I trust the God I serve that he going to bring him home safe and unharmed. Wow. And would you believe while I'm speaking, God had him already walking home. God had already fulfilled it. I just had to trust him and stand on the word. And so for me, that's where mental health comes in. It's spiritual health. Yes. If you really understand the power you have and how amazing you are and what you're here to accomplish on this earth, then your mental health will be in a better state because you won't be questioning if you're worthy when God said you're fearfully and wonderfully made. You know, you won't question if I'm going to be wealthy or successful when God says, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you. You know, so it's those type of things that when you start making sure, even when you start losing out hope, he says, for another plans I have for you to prosper you, give you hope in the future. So God, you gave me hope, and faith is the substance of things hoped for. The hope that you gave me, I got the faith that you're going to do it, so I'm going to speak it and receive it. Look at here. Y'all see, I get excited about talking about it. But you could get excited about it because that's really life. That's real life. That's life, and you have experienced it. Yeah. And so you get to tell others you can make it, you can get out of here. You can go and because that happened, but there's so much greater. There's better. There's so much more than what happened to you. Yeah. But you have to go get it. I look you up. Okay. And one of the things you said was you have to turn your pain into purpose. You have to turn your pain into purpose. Yeah. So y'all get ready to write this. Turn your pain into purpose. Talk to us. So you got to think, the thing that pains you the most, that frustrates you, that hurts you, that has you doubting yourself, that's more than likely your purpose. For me, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm not enough. Oh my gosh, I don't matter. People don't like me. You know, it was in my head. Okay. And that was the pain point of me. My sickness, it was a pain point for me. Why was I sick? Because I was stressed. That wasn't even a real actual sickness. Having 14 seizures wasn't a real seizure. It was a pseudo seizure. That's what they call it in medical terms. Pseudo seizure. Basically, you stress till your brain's like, you know. Oh, really? Yes. Pseudo seizure? Pseudo seizure. That's what they call it. Because you're not going to catch it on an EEG. Okay. You know, because that's what they do when you have a seizure. They put the stuff on your brain. So you're not going to catch it because it's not a real actual seizure. It's a stress situation. You're stressing yourself out till your body is showing physical ailments. And so you minimize the stress. You get out of the seizure. Exactly. I don't even have any physical problems anymore. I don't have $1 million medical bill every year. I was in ICU at least once a year for almost 5-6 years. Like I literally was a walking stress machine because I was on the outside smiling and helping and hey, I got you, encourage you, but then drowning on the inside with all the things I was dealing with because I didn't know my self-worth. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know the beautiful, great being that God created. And here she is today.
And here she
Here
is
she
today.
is today.
Here she is today. I'm gonna put that in a chapter or a book. Here she is today, because you all have to realize that. Okay, everybody, you are valuable. You are worth it. You make it happen. You are wonderfully and fearfully made. God got gifts in you. Make it. You got to bring it out. So what happened to you happened.
It
You know,
happened.
and I put that there because we don't want to minimize
Yeah.
that it didn't happen. I believe one of the first place of healing or step towards healing is recognizing and acknowledging that it did happen.
And that's your power.
Mm-hmm.
When you say, yeah, this happened to me, and let me tell you how I got out of it.
That's what we get ready to go right now, because we want you to understand. And one of the things she just so eloquently stated, y'all, our relationship with Christ, getting your word. If you get in that word of God and read it, let it become real to you. Develop that relationship with God. I'm telling you. And I've heard people say, well, I tried him and he failed. Try him again, she said.
Try him again.
Yeah, try him again. But
keep trying.
Because he never fail. He cannot fail. He cannot fail. Sometimes things don't work out like we want, but that don't mean God failed.
No.
If God said it,
he ain't a man that he shall lie.
He can't lie. No matter what it looked like, if God said it, it's gonna happen.
You just gotta have faith.
You got to have faith.
No matter
what. I'm gonna do this right here. No matter what. My husband preached a message Sunday. He said that hope is the expectation of your faith.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He said the hope is the
you expecting it to happen. But think about what you said, because he gave us hope.
He gave us hope. And so hope is the expectation of our faith. And he stated that hope causes our faith to arise.
Activate. Yep.
Hope activates our faith.
Yes.
And the Bible says he is not going to allow our hope to be made ashamed.
Mm-mm.
He promised that. Go ahead. This is good to me. This is good to me. You know, and my husband said too, sometimes what we're hoping for might be too little for what God has planned for us. Yeah. And so we're hoping little, and God got it planned way more than that.
I always tell God, blow my mind.
Blow my mind, God.
Blow my mind. This is what you gave me. This is the vision, what I see, but blow my mind. Do whatever you see fit to make sure it gets done. Because the thing about it is, when greater is coming and better things do come, but so does more challenges and situations in life. Yeah. And it's all about how you handle them. I just started studying a little bit more about wisdom. Mm-hmm. Right? And sometimes people think wisdom may mean, you knowing a lot of different things. Wisdom also means knowing when to stay home and not go into an environment that may trigger you because you're not properly healed yet to handle it. That's wisdom.
Did y'all just hear that, God? So if it's going to trigger you, don't go.
Don't.
If it's going to bring back those heartaches and pain, and you haven't been healed yet, because you want to get to a place of healing.
Yes.
Because relapse is kind of bad. Relapse bring more stuff back to you. Even the Bible speak of it. When the devil leaves the place,
come back,
and you haven't healed, and you let him back in, and it'll be 7 times worse.
Yeah, and I think people don't really get that. I think people really don't understand that, because we think somebody invites us somewhere and we gotta go, or somebody say let's go do this and you have to attend, and that's not always wise for the phase you're in your life at that moment. You don't have to always show up and go everywhere people are inviting you to. Sometimes you need to sit down and just say, I can't do that right now because I'm not in the space mentally to go into this environment and come out still healthy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful, Judy. Let's talk about that. Okay, so we got past the suicide. We got past that. You spoke to all those children. Your son comes home. And I think you already mentioned you have already written one book by the time.
Yeah, I had already written. The first book I wrote was When I Can't See Myself, and that was kind of like the start, which I didn't even know, but it was just I had a lot of things in me that I wanted to say because I feel like nobody saw me, but I see everybody else, and why nobody can't see me, And then
wow.
and I realized because I haven't asked them to see me, and then so it's a twofold because I don't ask. They're probably not going to give, but also if you're my friend and you know I'm strong and I never say anything negative to you about my life, it's also your responsibility as my friend to say, hey, how are you today? Because you can't assume that because somebody's always good that they're always good.
That's true.
So if you are a family member, a friend, a coworker, and it's okay to just ask somebody, hey, how are you today?
How are you today?
And be willing to actually listen.
Mm-hmm.
But also be willing to give the right, honest response.
Right.
Not just say, oh, I'm good. I'm okay. No, today's not a good day, and I'm not okay.
Today is one of those days.
Today's one of those days.
Call somebody. Talk me off the edge.
Right. Because listen, we're still human now. Because sometimes, listen.
Hey, talk me, get that AR, get that gun out of my hand. And it is not for me to shoot me.
Right.
And so we want to be real. Let's talk about your books. Let's talk about all of them. Because they're gonna be texting me after a while, telling me my time up. Okay. Let's talk about all of your books and why you wrote them and what the purpose is behind each one.
Okay.
If we can do that.
Yeah, we can do a little bit.
Yeah.
So like I said, this first one, When I Can't See Myself, this was like 2015. Back before publishing was a thing, I figured it out and I just did self-publishing. And that, like I said, I was like me not seeing myself. So that was a story format. And at first, my mom and my husband was like, are you okay? Because everybody in the book was dying. Like, they were just dying. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll let some people live, And so that book actually turned out to be really good. And people liked reading it because it was a chapter book, but it was different people's stories about how you can't see the real things that's happening in their private life. So then I had this one. It's a motivational book called Nothing But Up From Here. So it's just like 4-week motivationals where each week it gives you objectives, things you need to do. And I have like little stories behind it that keep you going for the week to tell you about my personal experience and how I dealt with whatever and then the good outcome of it. So each one like have different little stories.
I like these. I like
them. Thank you. Now the one that really was hard to write was the Learning to Walk Again after the suicide attempt. 2 attempts because this one was raw. It's telling about, how I got to wanting to commit suicide, the infidelity both me and my husband did. Like he cheated, I cheated, but that didn't work out right. You can't do that. So that's not condoning that, but And so
hold on. She said she's not condoning that. I want y'all to hear that because y'all gonna look at her and say, ooh, she's doing good.
I know, right?
And her husband's still doing good. Baby, I'm gonna no. She said she doesn't condone that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so but it talks about the rawness and the realness of what actually happens in life. I'm not afraid to tell my story because I'm not ashamed of what happened because I'm glad that we overcame that. And so that talks about me not growing up with my father. It talks about he only has 1 kid 10 minutes away, but I didn't stay with him. I didn't see him often. That hurt me. So it's so many childhood traumas. Like talks about how the kids called me, picked at me in school and told me I was missing teeth or blackety black. Like they just called me. They were just so mean sometimes. And so
Gaston County.
No, it's everybody. But it talks about motherhood, how I couldn't always show up for my kids because I didn't know how to show up. Mm-hmm. So it talks about so many different things in that book, and it helps you see the real outline of it. Once you learn how to walk again, then you'll be in a better light for your life and for your family. So that book, I love that book. It's my latest one. And it's just a mental health journey of what happened and how I got to who I am today. And then the last one.
That's what I want everyone to look at, because you have talked about all of this.
Yeah.
But the process of what you went through, now you're here.
Yeah.
I mean, you're here. You're a motivational speaker. You're speaking to you're starting. Getting who was that? All the people that jump, and I was watching that video. I was like, she got them really going. But to see you now, And I want to give hope to someone to let them know you may have to struggle right here. You know, this, and it did happen to you.
Yeah.
You were whatever. It did happen.
It happened.
It was sudden. You were blindsided. However, you can recover.
You will recover.
You will recover.
You will recover because recovery is on the agenda for you. That's on the agenda.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Somebody, y'all write, I'll write it. Recovery is on the agenda for you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Mom,
No,
recovery is on the agenda for you.
I just think that what people don't realize, there's too many fake people out here that pretends that life is perfect and things are this. If you look at my lives, you will see me telling the truth and honest about a lot of things that I'm dealing with. But I do that so people can see how to navigate life. Like, yes, I might cry. Yes, I might get frustrated. Yes, I might shut down, but I'm going to get back up again and fight because that's what we're supposed to do. And in this situation or this challenge I may have had, I have learned to lean a little bit more on God, a little bit more and a little bit more. So then it becomes a little bit lighter. So when things do come, you start recognizing, enemy, okay, you playing games today. So you're really ready to fight. Okay, well, let's get on. And so I already got the victory. I know I won, and you're mad about that. So let me go let me get my tools, my resources.
I love it.
Let me get the scripture. Let me get the prayer. Let me get the fasting because those are my weapons. And I'm going to take it. I'm going to go to war, and you're going to get defeated again, just like Jesus did. We died on the cross.
Oh, I like that. She's going to get her weapons. That's fasting and praying.
And scripture.
And the scripture and the word of God. And she get those, she already know she won. And the enemy already know you won.
He already know. And he going to come a little harder.
And he coming harder.
Don't be surprised that, like for me, currently, there's things I'm still having to deal with when it comes to my son. I love him. He's such a great man, young man of God. But these are trying times. I'm going to learn from that because I heard somebody say, you remember the story with Jesus feeding the thousands of people? Was it 2 fish, 5 loaves of bread, something like that, right? Okay. And they kept breaking it, right? So everybody can get a piece of it. So this person says, some people are called to people. So you might get broke a little bit. But when people are called to nations, you're going to keep getting broken down in order for you to, a little bit of you to get to everybody that needs to get to it. So because you're getting broken down, because God is letting you understand that he's working in you so other people can see him through you. So just for instance, when you talked about being betrayed, whatever the case may be, I can relate to that. But how could I relate if I've never been through it? So the things, the challenges, the situations that come our way, sometimes we're not going to always respond good. And that's okay. We're human. But if you learn how to respond godly, then things change.
Don't worry about responding good. Respond godly.
Respond godly.
Oh.
The atmosphere shifts.
It shifts.
You carry the power with you.
Come on.
So it's just it's so many different things that I think we're not teaching the young generation, or we're not even teaching us, like women or just people in our community, to learn how to fight intelligently, to learn how to fight godly. Because you have to understand the enemy been around forever. Like we haven't been here as long as he has. So he's very clever. He's sly. Look what he did from the beginning. So if he can do that from the beginning, you think you better than Eve?
And you know what? Oh man, you're gonna have to come back. And not only that, Drew, when you just said that, he's so slick and sly. He took he called a third of the angels in heaven to leave God and go with him.
Just really think about that though.
Yeah, we just said that a third of to leave God and go with him.
And you want to fight him with your own might.
And he convinced a third of the heavenly host to go with him.
Yes.
And they ain't know nothing but heaven.
They didn't know.
They knew nothing but being with the presence of God. That's all they knew.
But that's how slick
he is.
But God is greater.
And God, we're going to talk. That's my Bible study lesson. But still, I got to teach Bible study tonight. I didn't know I had to teach Bible study.
Okay.
But I'm going to talk about that.
Yeah. Just a bit. We sitting here fighting the spirit that we haven't even been here longer than him. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So you get your weapons together.
Get your weapons together. Why not stick with God?
Why not stick with God?
Because God created him so he can beat. He already defeated him.
We just don't know that because we don't read our
And we
word.
don't read our word. So God came down himself in the form of Jesus, got in the body, so he will have access to beat the devil on his ground.
On his ground.
Girl,
On his ground.
girl, he came down here, came on his turf and beat him.
No problem.
Beat him.
With no problem. And we got all the victory.
And we got all the victory.
That's why mental health, think
Wow.
about why you see so many people struggling with mental health, because the enemy's trying to trick you to not know who you really are.
Yeah. I don't even know what to tell you. I got 5 minutes. I don't know. Talk briefly about them, then we will go.
Well, this is the last one I just did last year. This is a journal. It's just a journal. And so it's just, I figured that some people need to write things down. So it's a mental wellness journal. Things I'm grateful for today, affirmation words for today, things that happened that was great, what I achieved today, what I want to improve, and how do I feel. So this is just a journal that people could utilize throughout the week to just keep track of their gratefulness to God and how good their life really actually is going. Sometimes we focus so much on the negative that we don't recognize the positive, and it's right in our face.
You know what? That's a good way to end this. Y'all focus on the positive. Focus on all the good things that you have done. Focus on who you are right now. Focus on the accomplishments you have achieved now. Focus on that. You're a mighty person.
Yes.
You really are. And today we just wanted to tell you it happened. Now move on to better. And I want to say this, and you can talk for about 30 seconds or so on this too. I want you to understand that some things just don't happen overnight.
Oh no.
No, because I don't want you to think, okay, ooh, I heard the Real Talk with Judy show. I heard what they said. I'm over this. No. It's a process. Talk about the process.
I think what people should realize is every day you're growing and you're learning the new you, because the old you was yesterday. The new you is today. And so every phase of your life, you're going to grow to be better and better and better, because that's how life works. When you're a kid, you crawl, then you walk, then you can run. When you're starting a job, you start at entry level, then you move up, and then you move up. That's just life. We have to go at it through the process. And the process means being open to being honest and authentic and being truthful about who you truly are and not hiding the real you, because the real you is the best you.
Look at here. Man, I know y'all been blessed today. I'm going to ask y'all would go ahead and share this on your page. Go ahead and share this on your page. We have been here with Driana. We have been here with Driana Hollis. And we just want you to go ahead, share all her books. Give me your website right quickly.
Yes, so it'll be Driana Latoya, DreunnaLatoya.com. So, and you can find all my books on Amazon. So they're all there. When I can't see myself, learning to walk again, you matter, a mental wellness journey to becoming you, and nothing but up from here. So yeah, like all of them. So you guys go out and follow me on Instagram, Facebook at Driana Latoya. So thank you so much, Pastor Judy. I appreciate you.
Thank you so very much for being here. You have really empowered and inspired the audience today and me. And I want to thank you so very much. Greatly appreciate you. And we will look forward to hearing from you again real soon, so we can help keep the people healthy.
Yes.
Want to help keep the people healthy. And perhaps someone, if you're just overwhelmed and maybe you thought about suicide, or maybe you just thought about no one is seeing you or whatever, hit her up.
Yes.
Hit her up.
I love talking to people. They can DM me, text me, message me.
Hit her up. And let's do life together. Let's live. There it is. That's her information.
Thank you,
and just live. And live. You got so much to live for. Okay, join me tonight. I'm Bible study, and I'm going to teach some of this tonight. I'm going to teach some of this.
Okay.
I am. You come on and make comments. They made comments on Bible study. But we really want to help you, because life can be overwhelming. Life can be challenging.
Yes.
Life can hit you on the blind side. But even with all of that, you're already great right now. Don't respond good, respond godly. Okay, so get in your word, fast and pray, and go be great. Just go be great and show up for you.
Yeah.
Show up for you. Yeah, my book got that too.
There you go.
A whole bunch of books out there, but show up for you. Show up for you. Okay? Show up for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. But always keep God first. Prioritize him in your life. And I read somewhere, don't make him first, just make him there. Not first. Start counting after him.
I told somebody God is not a option. He's the only option.
The only option.
He's the only option.
He's the only option. He really is. He really is. So thank you for tuning in with me, Dr. Judy Mandrell, of the Real Talk with Judy live radio show, and my special guest. I am so glad I met you.
Me too.
Up in person, Miss Driana Latoya Holland.
Yes.
So y'all go ahead, get these books. And guess what, y'all? We all making it. Because I see us in the future. And all of us are doing so much, many great things. That's Real Talk.
Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy.